In my business, over 50% of our new patients every month are from referrers, and that's been built on the back of meaningful relationships. Now, I think a lot of people go wrong when it comes to looking at where am I going to get my new patients from, that we very easily and very quickly revert back to social media and online ways of connecting and getting new patients through the door. Now, why do we do that? Well, it's probably quicker, it's probably easier in a lot of ways, but also it means we don't have to get outside our comfort zone and go out and meet people. Now, if you're having these fears around, I actually don't want to go out and meet and greet and start to know potential referrers, guess what? All the people who are in your market probably feel the same way. Now, if you're going to be that person to say, you know what, I'm actually going to get outside my comfort zone and look to start to create meaningful relationships with my referrers, you're going to be in the minority as opposed to majority. Same thing with when we're looking for relationships in our personal life. If you're at a stage in your life where you're looking to meet that potential someone, the market is very, very crowded nowadays, where people are very, very busy and they don't have the time, the energy and the effort to go out and meet people. So then people tend to resort to online mediums to actually engage and meet other people. So there's sites like eHarmony, and RSVP is one that I think that may or may not be around. And now more recently you hear things like Tinder. Now, what sort of meaningful relationship are you going to get off the back of Tinder, where guys and girls might be having a multiple set of leads going out into the market, and they're trying to create opportunities with each of those leads. The potential to actually find that important someone who you actually will create that relationship that's going to be long lasting is probably highly unlikely, as opposed to focusing on creating one or two meaningful relationships with someone and putting a lot of care and attention face to face to nurture that relationship. So I often think about, when I'm trying to work with referrers, what would a meaningful relationship look like in my personal life? And the thing is this, if I was trying to focus on a whole bunch of different ladies at once to create a meaningful relationship, it's probably not going to end pretty. Like, there might be a bit of fun for a period of time, but it's probably not going to be long lasting. It's probably going to end in tears, most likely mine. So focus is key, and this is where you can go wrong sometimes with creating referral relationships. And this is what I've done in my own business, is that I've started to try to create too many relationships at once. When we're looking to create meaningful relationships, we really want to focus on, say, one, maybe two relationships at any one time, if we really want to try and nurture that to go somewhere. The key with nurturing these relationships is that ideally we want to try and have face-to-face at some point. And that's where we're either catching up for a coffee or meeting somewhere that you can actually sit down and spend time face-to-face. In this situation, if you think back to the first date, on a first date, should you be sitting there and talking about yourself and what you can do for that person on the first date? How's that going to go? Probably not really well. Should you be trying to close the deal on that first date and try to get the outcome that you may have in mind on that first date? Probably not a great outcome coming your way if that is the case. Same thing with creating referral relationships. If you're trying to create a referral relationship, basically you want to spend that whole period of time, whether you've got half an hour or an hour with this person, asking them questions, finding out more about them. Seek first to understand. So what are we doing there? We're trying to find out more about this person. The key is, do I actually like this person? Am I aligned with this person? Is this the sort of person I want to actually create a relationship with? And during this conversation, if you're finding that, you know what, we just don't see things the same. They might have a different worldview, might have different perspectives on what's actually important. I would probably think, look, this isn't a relationship that I want to take forward. This is the same in a personal life, but also when we're looking to create referral relationships. The other thing too is you're trying to find out more about them so you can find out what's actually working well for them. Where are their frustrations? And what you're looking for is where you can potentially look to add value or potentially help them. Not necessarily about, hey, send me patients, but how can I actually look to help you and provide a solution to make their life easier or try and make them look better. So again, it comes back to, let's focus on these things are actual relationships. The other thing too is you're not going to close the deal on the first date. Think back to your personal life. You have that first date, and the next thing you end up at home together, having the massage, then you end up in bed, probably didn't end up being a great relationship long term. I'm just guessing. Same thing with your referral relationships. If you're looking to try and close the deal on that first date, I suspect it's not going to go very far. So generally the first date is then leading to a second date, and then a third, and so on and so forth. And over time, you're building a relationship. You're getting to know each other better. You're trying to figure out whether you actually like each other and how you can actually help each other out. And ultimately, if you're aligned, to help each other's patients or clients. As you're starting to build this relationship, you might then say, well, look, we are actually starting to send patients back and forward. The key is now is once you actually create a relationship, if you start a personal relationship and you've been on a first date, a second date, you might have got the outcome you wanted on the third date. If you then don't keep contact and start ongoing nurturing of the relationship, what is going to happen to that relationship over time? It is going to fizzle and die out. It's the same thing with our referral relationships. With referral relationships, they need regular check-ins, touch points, let you know that I still care, still thinking about you, I still want to help. So that's where the reporting and just periodic touch points where you might be an acknowledgement, sending through a card or a short note to say, look, thank you for all your support. Hopefully we're doing everything we can to help you. Or maybe it's catching up for a coffee or a beer or a meal periodically, just to keep that relationship going and checking in. So what I want you to take from this is referral relationships. Let's get away from relying on social media. Let's go out and meet people. We often get very scared by going to meet the GP. Don't have to start with the GP. You don't have to start with a supermodel. Start with a massage therapist or the shoe store or whatever, and start to get confident. The more you do it, the better you get. Now, I heard a metaphor on a webinar on the way to this to a meeting today, and this guy was basically talking about it. He said, look, if you want to get better at sex, you've got to have more sex. So if you want to get better at creating meaningful relationships, you need to have more relationships. Did that come out right? If you want to get better at, starting to create referral relationships, you want to start getting better at promoting yourself, you want to start better at connecting and educating people about what you do and how you help patients, you've got to do more and more of that. So start small. You might start with the massage therapist, it might be the beauty therapist, whoever, and just start to break the inertia and get going. Progress beats perfection. And the guarantee, as you start to do this, and you think about, we're just trying to create a relationship here, I'm trying to figure out if I actually like this person. If you like them and you're aligned with them, it's a long way to go and create a meaningful relationship that's going to pay huge dividends for your practice and your patients long term. Good luck.